Yankees versus Dodgers. The World Series begins tomorrow night. What's going on, guys? My name is Jeff with Lock and Cash Sports, and we're going to talk about the betting angles that I'm seeing here for this matchup. Who's going to lift the trophy this year? Who's going to win it all? I'm going to talk to you guys about how I'm looking at this, compare the teams a bit, and what I think is going to happen. Before we get into this, I will be posting my official bet, my official pick for Game 1 completely free on the Action Network app. So if you don't have that, there's a link down in the description. Yes, it helps us out if you use that our link. Download the app, follow me on there. It's completely free. Tons of great articles and information, but also all of my free plays go up on there first. So you can get them. You can track them along with me as well. See my record, all that good stuff. So check out the Action Network app if you don't have that yet. Now, for this matchup, let's kind of just break these two teams down, starting with the lineups, right? So obviously, it's all about the star-studded lineups. You've got the three-headed monster on one side with Judge, Soto, and Stanton. You've got obviously the greatest player on the planet, Ohtani. You've got Freeman, who looks to be healthy now for the series. Muncy's hitting the ball well. Teoscar Hernandez. You got a lot of firepower, a lot of depth in that Dodgers lineup. I kind of see this, guys, like quite literally per my numbers, everything. It's just a wash. I think the hitters are all going to get theirs. I don't think there's one key guy if this guy hits, it's going to be the difference. I'm really not seeing that. I think, obviously Judge, you don't want to see him strike out as much. If you are on the Yankee side of this, you'd like to see him have, more competitive at bats in certain scenarios. But I think he's going to get his, and he has pretty good historical numbers against the Dodgers in his career. I think Soto, you kind of see what Soto's all about. The dude's an animal. He's going to make pitchers work. He's going to put them in very tough spots where they have to make almost perfect pitches. He's great at that. He's great at getting the pitch he wants and then jumping on it. He's going to do his thing. And Stanton right now is on an insane run. I mean, I don't even know what to say about Giancarlo Stanton. If there's one guy in this series, like I just said, I don't think one guy's going to make it, but if there is one, it's going to be him. Like if the Dodgers can consistently get Stanton out, that's a huge, huge edge for them going up against the Yankees, because Stanton he's just crushing the baseball. It's unbelievable how he's been hitting the baseball in in the playoffs so far. And throughout his career, just a great playoff performer. So, and on the other side, you've got, Ohtani's going to get his, right? Like the Yankees pitching is good. I think the Yankees have the better starting rotation, but you're not going to go up there and dominate Ohtani in this series. He's going to do his thing. The Dodgers are going to score runs. I think the Yankees will score runs as well. So I think you'll see these guys do their thing. But of course, where it always comes back to in baseball is the pitching. Which pitching staff is going to have just slightly more success because these lineups are so good. The hitters are so good. Now, it's interesting to me that the Dodgers decided to go with their regular 3-run rotation. I thought maybe they would switch things up just a little bit. I know they don't have a ton of arms because you have, Glass now injured, Kershaw injured. Those are guys that you probably would have liked to use in this series. But it just looks like they're going with the same thing they did against the Mets, which is Flaherty, Yamamoto, and Buehler as a 3-man rotation. And if you need a fourth game, you go to a bullpen option, and throw a bullpen game, which worked out against the Mets. But, and on the other side, Yankees have Cole, they have Rodon. Maybe your third guy's Clark Schmidt. Do you throw Luis Gil out there? A lot more options. It looks like Nestor Cortez is going to be good for this series coming off of the injury. He hasn't pitched in a while, but could be a kind of like a sneaky X factor in the series. But the matchups here are very important because remember, you're dealing with the Yankees and the Dodgers, the number 1 and the number 2 team, versus right-handed pitching for the entire season, like OPS, slugging, WRC plus, everything. Number 1 and number 2. But the thing that people forget is the Dodgers are 2 versus righties, but number 1 versus lefties. You saw this with the Mets. Manaea, Quintana, Peterson, they all got crushed whenever they came in the game against the Dodgers. I think Manaea had the one good game, but after that it was over. This Dodgers lineup is lethal versus left-handed pitching. And what do the Yankees have over there? Rodon's going to at least start 2 games. Do you give Nestor Cortez a start in the series? Do you use him in middle relief out of the bullpen? How do you handle Tim Hill, who's a lefty coming out of the bullpen? Tim Maiza, who's a lefty coming out of the bullpen. I think the Yankees, if they properly use their lefties, that could be the difference in this series because you need to avoid, right? Here's the thing. You need to avoid those guys getting crushed. The Dodgers hit lefties so well. If you just roll your lefties out there and they hit them hard, this series is over. The Yankees are going to have to get theirs on offense against the righties, and the matchup is there. They're going to face all right-handed starters. They're going to face mostly right-handed pitch. I think the Dodgers only have 1 lefty in the bullpen, which is Banda, and he's going to give you 1 inning at a time. He's not going to pitch more than an inning, even if he's good. He might even just get you 2 outs, 1 out. So the Yankees are going to get pretty much entirely their preferred split against right-handed pitching. It's all about how they perform against it, and it's all about mitigating the damage done on their lefties. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in this series. This is a battle of the juggernauts. You don't got, this is not small ball. This is not wild card teams in here like you have the last few years. Remember it's easy to forget last year, Texas, Arizona, two wild card teams. Remember that 2019 or 2019 team, that Washington, that won it all with Soto on that team. That was a wild card team. So the small ball aspect of that, or who's hot, who's not, is not really, I'm not seeing that in this year. I'm just seeing it's just two juggernauts, one seed, and it's just who can take advantage of the matchups. And I think the Yankees have a decent path here, but you have to protect these lefties. I want to see how Boone manages Rodon in tight spots in the game. How does he use those lefties out of the bullpen? Is Cortez even a factor? Do they put him on the roster and maybe not even use him? Is he a factor in the series? Is he, is he a smokescreen? Whatever it is, but something's got to give here, because you cannot just have the Dodgers tee off on your left-handed pitching. It's going to be too damaging in a 7-game series. I don't think the Yankees would be able to recover from that. In terms of the bullpen, I project the Yankees to have a small edge. It's pretty close though, especially if the Dodgers get back some of their injured relievers. Like I believe Vesia is going to be back for the series. If they get some of these guys healthy and back, it's a bit closer than you'd like if you're on the Yankee side. But I think the Yankees have a slightly better bullpen. But again, it's going to come down to the pitching. This is an interesting series because I think in previous years there's a clear edge, right? Like maybe there's a team that's plus 140 to win the series, plus 130. You could find some value. It's so tight. It's so close here. Minus 120, plus 110. This is going to be I think it's going to be very, very competitive. Here's the thing though. People like, obviously, in big playoff high pressure games, unders. I think overs will be in play because of exactly what I just described. The splits are all geared towards the hitting in this series. So I think overs will be in play. The Dodgers series versus the Mets, every game went over, which is kind of interesting. So I think the overs are going to be in play, but I think you have to watch out for those two guys I just named, Cortez and Rodon. I think could decide this series if they can pitch well, because that overcomes your biggest hurdle, right, from the Yankee side. So if they can pitch well and not fall victim to the Dodgers crushing left-handed pitching, that gives the Yankees a huge up in this series. Now, I think the Yankees win the series. Yes, I'm from New York. I'm a Yankees fan, but I don't include my bias in my betting, right? So I bet against the Yankees, several times throughout the playoffs and throughout the regular season, a ton of times. So it's not anything about that. The interesting thing though, which I did bet them a lot in the Cleveland series because I just thought it was just a mismatch. Like they were just much better than the Guardians. But in general, I don't bet on my teams just because they're my team. But I think the Yankees have a clear path here. Ken Rodon, who I like Rodon, he's a good pitcher and he's pitched well in the playoffs so far. Can he survive against this lineup? I think he can. Does Cortez come in and kind of just give you like just a different look, right? Like a little change of pace. Maybe they're not sure what to do with him. How to use lefties out of the bullpen, because I think the Yankees are going to be able to hit I think they're going to hit Flaherty. I think they're going to hit Yamamoto. I think they're going to hit Buehler. So to me, the Dodgers just having the option of throwing out nothing but right-handed pitchers at this lineup, I don't think that bodes well for them. And the Yankees are excellent against these types of pitchers on the road too. Don't forget that. Number one versus righties, but also number one versus righties on the road away from home. So I think they're alive in these first two games. I think they're alive for the series. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the Yankees win this one and get the 28th championship. But for my official game one pick, I'm not sure yet if I like the value on the money line or if I'm going to go total over under. I'm still looking at it. That will be up on the Action Network app. Like I said, links down in the description. And let me know what you guys think about the series. I think it's a fantastic series. Just digging into the numbers is kind of like the most you can go. There's really no situational stuff here. There's no bad blood or anything like that. It's just these guys are all here and they're all excellent. I think they're all going to get theirs. It's going to be a really, really fun World Series. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Who's going to win it all, guys? And thanks for watching and catch you on the next video. Let's get it.